terms of game plan, play calling is the game plan?
Well, I think as a play caller, the biggest thing it does is just kind of takes you out of some of your original plans that you wanted to make, you know, and not necessarily schemes or whatnot, but just in terms of how much do we throw it, how much do we run it. You know, when you play from behind, you feel like that you got to press, make a big play, and get yourself back in the game. You know, and that's why why there's been always such a huge emphasis on the start. You know, if we can start fast, you can play ahead. Now all of a sudden you get more chances to run the football. You get more chances to, you know, kind of do what you want to do. You know, when you can play ahead or you're playing on even footing. You know, but just you know, obviously the start wasn't what we wanted it to be. You know, had some uncharacteristic things happen from some really good football players, and I know that that's not what they want to happen. You know, I know those guys hurt just as bad as we do as a staff, and but we got to get those things corrected. And we got to get them fixed.
Is that the most drops you've seen from this group of receivers? Do you think the weather's a factor? Or?
You know, it could probably be attributed to a lot of things. You know, but we didn't do a great job. You know, we got to pitch and catch. You know, and that's one of the things as the system progresses, and the longer that we're here, I feel like, you know, you kind of don't have a choice but to enhance and make better. But you know, you got to pitch and catch.
Frustrating because is that frustrating because the wide receivers seem like they've been progressing and haven't had a game like that?
And they still are. You know, this isn't a, you know, break the glass in case of emergency type situation. We've got great receivers. You know, they're coached incredibly well. Coach Kelly does a great job with them. They just didn't have their best day, and it just so happened to not have their best day on a really important football game on national TV. And you know, nobody wants that. But no, I still believe in those guys, man.
Willie and Alec both mentioned simplifying things up front for the offensive line and maybe allow the running game to get going. Were you guys seeing things in the last few weeks that made you want to try to do some more complex stuff that you thought you were ready for?
No, I don't think we've ever been super complex. A lot of people would probably think the latter, that we don't do very much. I just minimize the scheme to make sure, especially with a group that's not real experienced, playing a bunch of different guys, just that we can just minimize as many looks as they can see in practice. Let's just run one or two schemes, and let's make sure that our guys have seen every look, every adjustment, you know, and make sure there's not as much gray for those kids. And at least if there is some gray, that they've been there before, they've done it, and they can be comfortable at it.
You guys had an opportunity to make it a much closer game when you guys didn't score down the red zone. What could you talk about that possession or that red zone trip and kind of where things went wrong?
Yeah, we had a 13, 14-yard run down to the inch line. A little bit of debate there on whether we scored or not. Went to a tempo inside zone. You know, didn't get a call made up front, you know, that would at least help the front side. And then obviously we've got to manage the backside of quarterback there. On third down from the one, you know, just want to put big bodies on big bodies. Got beat, you know, on a slant across our face, didn't handle that great. And then on fourth down, you know, obviously we didn't get that thing completed. You know, so from a situational standpoint, you know, I think really the second down and then third down, you know, not doing a great job with our big bodies, but we got to just keep putting those guys in those positions and get it correct.
I think fans and media sometimes will say, well, you got Tamorrion Terry, why don't you just take some shots with him? What goes into that?
Yeah, I think what had happened in the game up to that game had not pitched and catch very well. You know, when you got the ball on the 1 yard line, you know, I think that the adage since I was probably, I don't know, a 12-year-old little triple option quarterback doing it really poorly, you know, the adage has always kind of been, you know, if you can't gain a yard, you probably don't deserve it. So I think that was kind of the mentality. Let's go find a way to get a yard. We didn't get it done.
What's the name of that personnel package with Durden and Wilson?
Hippo. Hippo. Big kids.
How much of that stuff is to try to keep these kids engaged in a tough season?
Absolutely. You know, create as much morale as you possibly can, create as many opportunities for kids to be a part of the football program as possible and know that they're counted on, so they're invested in practice and invested in game.
Is that a way of rewarding those guys too? Because they have
a little bit. You know, a little bit. You know, those guys, you know, they've done a really good job for us. You know, and obviously what's happened in the last few weeks, you know, nobody wants that to happen. You know, and nobody expects that to happen. Nobody here. I mean, our defense, you know, played as probably well as any defense in the country, you know, up until the last few weeks. And you know what? They're going to get back. I know this. Coach Barnett is an unbelievable football coach. All right, we've got really good kids. Okay, great coaches and great kids. They're going to find a way to get it done.
How far has Juwan come to get back in the lineup? Juwan Williams, how far has he come back to?
Yeah, you know, I think again it's just injuries, you know, being beat up, you know, the mental continuity thing, and seeing him play with some confidence, really good for us. You know, we need him to keep progressing, you know, for the long-term future of the program, as opposed, and also for these next 2 weeks.
All right.
All good there? Thank you guys.
Thank you.